Everything is meaningless. The words of the teacher, son of David, king in Jerusalem. Meaningless, meaningless, says the teacher, utterly meaningless. Everything is meaningless. What do people gain from all their labors at which they toil under the sun? Generations come and generations go, but the earth remains forever. The sun rises and the sun sets, and hurries back to where it rises. The wind blows to the south and turns to the north. Round and round it goes, ever turning on its course. All streams flow into the sea, yet the sea is never full. To the place the streams come from, there they return again. All things are wearisome, but more than one can say. The eye never has enough of seeing, nor the ear its fill of hearing. What has been will be again. What has been done will be done again. There is nothing new under the sun. Is there anything of which one can say? Look, this is something new. It was here already long ago. It was here before our time. No one remembers the former generations, and even those yet to come will not be remembered by those who follow them. Wisdom is meaningless. I, the teacher, was king over Israel and Jerusalem. I applied my mind to study and to explore by wisdom all that is done under the heavens. What a heavy burden God has laid on mankind. I have seen all things that are done under the sun. All of them are meaningless, a chasing after the wind. What is crooked cannot be straightened. What is lacking cannot be counted. I said to myself, look, I have increased in wisdom more than anyone who has ruled over Jerusalem before me. I have experienced much wisdom and knowledge. Then I applied myself to the understanding of wisdom, and also of madness and folly. But I learned that this too is a chasing after the wind. For with much wisdom comes much sorrow. The more knowledge, the more grief. Pleasures are meaningless. I said to myself, come now, I will test you with pleasure to find out what is good. But that also proved to be meaningless. Laughter, I said, is madness. And what does pleasure accomplish? I tried cheering myself with wine and embracing folly, my mind still guiding me with wisdom. I wanted to see what was good for people to do under the heavens during the few days of their lives. Wow. I undertook great projects. I built houses for myself and planted vineyards. I made gardens and parks and planted all kinds of fruit trees in them. I made reservoirs to water groves of flourishing trees. I bought male and female slaves and had other slaves who were born in my house. I also owned in Jerusalem before me. I amassed silver and gold for myself, and the treasure of kings and provinces. I acquired male and female singers and a harem as well. The delights of a man's heart. I became greater by far than anyone in Jerusalem before me. In all this, my wisdom stayed with me. What do I have here? I denied myself nothing my eyes desired. I refused my heart no pleasure. My heart took delight in all my labor, and this was the reward for all my toil. Yet when I surveyed all that my hands had done and what I had toiled to achieve, everything was meaningless, a chasing after the wind. Nothing was gained under the sun. Wisdom and folly are meaningless. Then I turned my thoughts to consider wisdom, and also madness and folly. What more can the king's successor do than what has already been done? I saw that wisdom is better than folly, just as light is better than darkness. The wise have eyes in their heads, while the fool walks in the darkness. Hi, New Rain. How are you? Ooh. Okay, hold on. But I came to realize that the same fate overtakes them both. Then I said to myself, the fate of the fool will overtake me also. What then do I gain by being wise? I said to myself, this too is meaningless. For the wise, like the fool, will not be long remembered. The days have already come when both have been forgotten. Like the fool, the wise too must die. So I hated life, toil and meaningless. So I hated life because the work that is done under the sun was grievous to me. All of it is meaningless. A chasing after the wind, I hated all the things I had toiled for under the sun, because I must leave them to the one who comes after me. And who knows whether that person will be wise or foolish. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Wait, what time is it? Kirsten, is your hair dry? Yet they will have control over all the fruit of my toil, into which I have poured my effort and skill under the sun. This too is meaningless. So my heart began to despair over all my over all my toil. Some labor under the sun, for a person may labor with wisdom, knowledge, and skill, and then they must leave all they own to another who has not toiled for it. This too is meaningless and a great misfortune. What do people get for all the toil and anxious striving with which they labor under the sun? All their days, their work is grief and pain. Even at night, their minds do not rest. This too is meaningless. Wow. The words of a teacher's son. Oh, okay. A person can do nothing better than to eat and drink and find satisfaction in their own toil. This too, I see, is from the hand of God. For without him, who can eat or find enjoyment? To the person who pleases him, God gives wisdom, knowledge, and happiness. But to the sinner, he gives the task of gathering and storing up wealth to hand it over to the one who pleases God. This too is meaningless, a chasing after the wind. Wow, he's like really going through it. That's crazy. We only get to live one time in a lifetime. We only get to live one time. And yeah, I pray that we all get to live a good life in this one life. Okay, so he says, to the person who pleases him, God gives. Okay, I see from the hand of God or find enjoyment. I see to the person who pleases God gives him wisdom, knowledge, and happiness. But to the sinner he gives the task of gathering and storing up wealth to hand it over who pleases God. This too is meaningless. There is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens. A time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to uproot. A time to, I don't know if I could say these words here, but a time to blank and a time to heal. A time to tear down and a time to build. A time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to mourn and a time to dance. A time to scatter stones and a time to gather them. A time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. A time to search and a time to give up. A time to keep and a time to throw away. A time to tear and a time to mend. A time to be silent and a time to speak. A time to love and a time to hate. A time for war and a time for peace. What do workers gain from their toil? I have seen the burden God has laid on the human race. He has made everything beautiful in its time. He has also set eternity in the human heart. Yet, no one can fathom what God has done from beginning to end. I know that there is nothing better for people than to be happy and to do good while they live. That each of them may eat and drink and find satisfaction in all their toil. This is the gift of God. I know everything God does will endure forever. Nothing can be added to it and nothing can be taken from it. God does it so that people will fear him. Whatever is has already been, and what will be has been before. And God will call the past to account. Wow, that's crazy. So this is the King of David. I mean, the son of David, I think. And his thinking is so different from his father's. Hi, Milena. How are you? What's with your accent? What do you mean, what's with my accent? That's the way I speak. What's with you being bothered because of my accent? If it's working or it's not working, or if I speak a certain way or not. Okay. Wait. And God will call the past to account. And I saw something else under the sun. In the place of judgment, wickedness was there. In the place of justice, wickedness was there. If you don't like it, Rise or whatever your name is, you can keep on scrolling. I'm not here to please nobody, not even in the way I speak. I'm just here to be me and to do what I do. I'm just gonna ignore you guys because that's all you can do. Anyways, I said to myself, God will bring into judgment both the righteous and the wicked. For there will be a time for every activity, a time to judge every deed. I also said to myself, as for humans, God tests them so that they may see that they are like the animals. Surely the fate of human beings is like that of the animals. The same fate awaits them both. As one, so the other. All have the same breath. Humans have no advantage over animals. Everything is meaningless. All go to the same place, all come from dust, and to dust all return. Who knows if the human spirit rises upward, and if the spirit of the animal goes down into the earth? Yes, I can ignore you. Yeah, I know. Right now, I'll mute them. Huh, can you believe a person just wakes up to bother people or tell them stuff? Or they're just living about their day and they'll be like, oh, today I'm gonna ruin this person's day by saying all of these dumb things. That's crazy. They ain't got nothing else to do. Hi, Hugh. Is that how you say your name? Hugh? Hugh?
Let me see.
No, because right now they're writing negative things.
Aren't you gonna block them right now?
Yeah, right now I'll block them.
This cutie patooties.
Okay. Thank you, Huey. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I don't know if I already read this, but it says, so I saw that there is nothing better for a person than to enjoy their work, because that is their lot. For who can bring them to see what will happen after them? And you know what's crazy? This is an everyday thing. Like, people just wake up to do this. They ain't got no life.
They're just haters. Like, you just want to hate for no reason. It's like...
No, it's because I don't know, I don't know what they feel. Good morning, half a mile today. Christian, I don't know about that because I have an important morning. I can do it. It's just gonna have to be like a little later in time from my usual.
Because my words.
They think they're perfect.
Yeah, but they're not. Like...
Thank you, Rice. Thank you for being here, Raiz, or I don't know what your name is. Thank you for being here. Thank you for wasting your time.
So sleepy.
I am not educated. I do not know many things. But wow, you really take your time out of the day just to come in here and to be nagging about my life.
Hey.
Focus on yours and what you can do right. But I don't got time to hear you anymore.
Time to go.
Boy, bye. Be quiet. Go focus on your life. Okay. Again, I looked and saw the oppression that was taking place under the sun. I saw the tears of the oppressed, and they have no comforter. Power was on the side of their oppressors, and they have no comforter. And I declare that the dead who had already died, are happier than the living, who are still alive. But better than both is the one who has never been born, who has not seen the evil that is done under the sun. You see, I told you they think they're perfect.
That's why
They're projecting their own flaws always. When a person is just being mean for no reason, or they're bothered by who you are, it says a lot about them. More about them than more about you, okay? So if you ever grow up to do this,
you block them if they're being rude.
yeah.
You tell
Sometimes if you got the time, you can tell them something. If you want to tell them something, sometimes you can just stay silent and ignore them and be like, whatever, say whatever you want, I don't care.
That's what I do when someone says that to me in school.
Yeah, they're everywhere. And I saw that all toil and all achievement spring from one person's envy of another. This too is meaningless, a chasing after the wind. And I saw that all toil and all achievement spring from one person's envy of another. Oh, I already read that. Sorry, my bad. Fools fold their hands and ruin themselves. Better one handful with tranquility than two handfuls with toil and chasing after the wind. Okay. Again, I saw something meaningless under the sun. There was a man alone. He had neither son nor brother. There was no end to his toil, yet his eyes were not content with his wealth. For who am I toiling, he asked, and why am I depriving myself of enjoyment? This too is meaningless, a miserable business. And you know what's crazy? Oh, I'm sorry, but you know what's crazy? The person that's talking about my accent has an accent that's way worse than mine. I bet you anything.
So then why are you talking about hers if your accent is way worse?
I bet you anything. But, okay.
Mom,
I know.
Mom, I hear this note. This one.
You already, yeah, it changes. It changes from when you change the piano sounds, the notes change. Oh my gosh, guys, I'm sorry for the negativity that popped up, but it's always good. It's always good with bad. There's always gonna be bad with good, and I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be reading this and to be coming back and forth with somebody that thinks that they're above me when they clearly are not. But I am done reading that part. I feel like the son of David is not quite like David. It's very different. And he's just like questioning, and I feel like he's like down, you know? He's like kind of like down. Thinking like, what's the point of wisdom? What's the point of like everything? But yeah. I think we still have time.
Yeah.
A little time. But I'm already done, guys. Once again, my apologies to that person or to the people that come daily.
To ruin the moment.
To just try to be mean to me and get out the worst in me and just, I don't know. These people are insane, and I feel bad for them because why would you just wake up to try to ruin someone's life with your words? Because you know those words are hurtful, so why would you say them? Or why would you think you are perfect and above other people? Because they're not. But anyways, guys, bye. Love y'all. Take care.